let's get out there to Fox Weather storm specialist Mike Seidel. He joins us live from Montauk, way out Long Island. I was thinking about this, Mike. BVD, he's in Manasquan. Anytime he's in Manasquan, the weather is terrible. No peninsula in this country is safe from Mike Seidel. You were in the Arrowhead region, which is like a peninsula-y a little bit. This is a giant peninsula. You're at the tip of it. You can expect some terrible weather inbound.
And I look back at my log back to the mid-90s, and I've been doing live shots on networks since then. And this is the first time I've covered two blizzards this close together, 5 days apart. The one in Minnesota, up on the North Shore Lake Superior, 24 to 38 inches. We were on the air with you Wednesday and Thursday, and now here in Montauk. And to put it in perspective, we're about 120 miles, just about due east from where you're sitting in Midtown at Avenue of the Americas. So it's on a good day, well, a 2-hour drive, even on a good day, impossible. Yesterday, coming out on the Bell Parkway, it was touch and go, but glad to be back here. This is, I think, my second time here for winter. I've been here more than a few times for tropical weather, including tropical storms and hurricanes. The snow just kicking in about a half an hour ago, so we're just getting a coating here, and we're basically on the highest point in Montauk. We're up here at the Manor. This hotel's been around for about 100 years, and we're looking down towards the harbor, and now we've lost the water. We can still see the lights of some of the buildings in the distance as the visibility comes down now to about a mile to a mile and a half, and it's sticking pretty good. Our temperature now 32. Islip has had snowfall for an hour or so. They're at 31. Visibility 3/4 of a mile. As far as the winds go, this ain't nothing. I mean, if you tune in later tonight when we're on, as we get close to midnight, but tomorrow morning, things are going to be rocking up here. We're talking wind gusts to hurricane force, which would be 74 miles an hour, maybe even higher at the Montauk reporting station. We may get a gust out here to 80 miles an hour. Highest gust I've seen in the general area is the buoy south of Islip off the South Shore, and their peak gust so far is 40 miles an hour. That is over the open water. But as this storm bombs out, Ian, the winds are going to ratchet up very quickly. And I checked the forecast, and we talk about bombogenesis being 24 millibars in 24 hours. That's the minimum to verify. But this particular storm is going to do that in 12 hours. In 12 hours. So that's incredible strengthening, and all that pressure drop means the wind's going to wrap around the storm and throw the moisture back in the cold air and set up banding. And the key to where we get the higher snowfall totals is based on the banding on the northwest side of the storm, whether it's going to be New York City, parts of Long Island, Providence, how about the Cape, the South Shore down towards Situate. It remains to be seen, but generally here we're thinking at least a foot to a foot and a half of snowfall from the blizzard of 2026.
So, Mike, I pulled up the map where you are. You're awfully close to a golf course, but it looks like you could probably hit driver and hit the end of the line for the Long Island Railroad, which is going to shut down tonight. How do you expect, I mean, I hope folks are getting this message. You mentioned on a good day the challenge to get out there. It's going to be awfully challenging or impossible to move around parts of Long Island next couple days.
Yeah, whether you're on Highway 27 that gets you out to the Hamptons and here in Montauk, or the Grand Central Parkway, the winds are going to be basically blowing across it. Maybe not perpendicular, but northeast, north, and northwest behind the storm through tomorrow night. Tomorrow is basically one of those days you want to sit tight, unless it's an emergency, as the mayor said in New York City. Unless it's an emergency, do not go out. Even on e-bikes, just stay home, or do the foot traffic. Get your steps in, say, in Midtown or in Central Park. And out here, again, this is the off-season. The year-round population is several thousand people. It's not very crowded. A lot of businesses are not open right now because it is the off-season, but everybody is ready for the big storm. But as you notice, the snow is barely moving horizontally. I mean, we get a little gust of wind, but as we go through this evening, you'll notice the change in the composition and the direction. It'll just be going boom. Now, that's east, that's north, so we have the big hotel, which goes up about 7 or 8 stories at its peak. So we're going to get a little blocking from the wind, but it may also swirl around, Ian, as we get into later tonight and tomorrow morning. And we'll just see how how it plays out, and we'll put ourselves in a safe position, but also in a position to give you an idea of just how strong these winds are. And remember, temperatures about 29 or 30 or 31. It's a heavy, wet snow, and with wind gusts over 70 miles an hour, there's going to be power outages out here on the island. That's pretty much a given. But the big difference with this storm is the fact that afterwards, we're not going into the deep freeze. We're going to be warming up into the 30s and then even into the 40s. And I think even in New York City, mid to late week, we'll get some rainfall. So those nasty snow piles that you guys have been staring at in Midtown, well, we're going to get some nasty snow piles, but they're not going to stick around as long as they did from that January storm. That's almost a given that it's not going to be a big cold air mass coming in, the polar plunge, for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's crucial. None of the disgusting glaciers that we've had around last several weeks. That's going to be some vantage point right there as we watch your coverage, Mike. We're looking forward to it. The blizzard of 2026, or as Mike Seidel described it, my second blizzard this week. So, Mike, a day in the life,
nice.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you again soon.
B squared,
Thank
baby.
you.
B squared.
Yes.
You're welcome.
A Fox Weather storm specialist, Mike Seidel, joining us live from Montauk, from one peninsula that sticks out in the Atlantic to another. Mike, what's the scene been like? I know you're watching the radar. It looks like that first good band is, what, 50 miles or so off to your south?
Yeah, not even that far, but it will be in here. I'd say for our next live shot or the one after, it's going to be snowing harder. Right now, we've got light snow here. I can still see the lights in the harbor, so our visibility is at least a mile as the crow flies. And notice there's not a lot of blowing of the snow yet. That will change, and we've got a little bit of protection from the big hotel here, the Manor, which has been sitting up here for about 100 years. So this hotel's seen a lot of weather. Yeah, we're watching that come in, and we've got a long way to go. We've got all night tonight until early Monday afternoon. That's going to be the crux of the heaviest snowfall. Most of the inches will fall by early tomorrow afternoon, and the winds tonight will really ramp up. I'm sure I'm going to hear that whistling early in the morning as I'm trying to get some sleep before we come back on. By the way, we're going to be back on here at 8 a.m. Eastern in the morning, and it will be wild up here. And we're going to be safe because I don't want to get hit by anything blowing around, but it's not going to be anything like you see right now. It's going to be more like what we showed you in Minnesota back on Wednesday with that blizzard there up on the shores of Lake Superior. 1-inch snowfall rates now being reported. JFK, Islip, they're both on the south shore of Long Island. Winds so far now are not gusting as high as they were, but they will be increasing through the evening and overnight, and we expect gusts up here as high as hurricane force, or maybe even clocking in at 80 miles an hour. That's certainly not out of the question, not only here, but towards the south shore and the south coast of Massachusetts, out on the Cape and the islands, anything that sticks farther east. Keep in mind, Ian, we're about 200 miles east of where you are in New York City, but even there, winds will gust over 50 miles an hour. That's expected. We're 55, and that's why the blizzard warnings were issued from Delaware all the way up to down East Maine, including many, many states, the entire state, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, and Delaware. I haven't seen that in years. I can't remember the last time we saw this much aerial coverage of blizzard warnings, and we've got, how many now, 44, 45 million people in a blizzard warning. It remains to be seen, as you know, Ian, how many stations verify officially a blizzard, which is 3 consecutive hours. You got to check off the visibility, quarter mile or less in blow or snow or blowing snow. It doesn't have to actually be snowing. It can pick up the snow on the ground, but in this case, it will be snowing. And then the wind gust, 35 miles an hour or higher. And we'll see how that shakes out between now and about noon tomorrow in the Northeast corridor.
Yeah, Mike, you say that. We've got 2 sensors in the New York City Metro reporting near blizzard conditions. Central Park was down to 3/4 of a mile and dropping. But the Battery, southern tip of Manhattan, downtown, a gust to 39 miles per hour already. And Dylan was just telling me Coney Island, it's 2.9 inches of accumulation already. That feels like a fast start, and that could be coming attractions to what you're going to experience in that band.
I expect we'll be able to show that to you right here on Fox Weather through this evening. We're going to be on until after midnight tonight Eastern here on Fox Weather. So the picture will change, the wind will pick up, the snow intensity will pick up, and it will look a lot more wintry than it does right now. By the way, temperature's 31 degrees. This is not a particularly cold storm, Ian.
No.
So the wet snow combined with the accumulation totals and the wind gust over 60 miles an hour, perfect prescription for some power outages. It'll be interesting to see how much power we lose. The advantage in the winter, of course, is there's no canopy, there are no leaves on the trees to kind of catch the wind. But if you get enough heavy wet snow on some, say, evergreens that are dangling over power lines, that will knock out the power. And the other thing different about the storm in January is it's not going to be getting colder after this storm.
Thank goodness.
It'll moderate fairly nicely. Yeah, thank goodness. Wednesday through the end of the week. I think we even have some rain in the forecast later this week in New York City. So those nasty snow piles that you've been complaining about is well, everybody's my friends in New York City. You know, gosh, can we get some rain?
I'm complaining about the one what my pug did to it in front of my building. It's nothing good.
Well, it's you need warmer temperatures, but you need rain to kind of wash down the streets.
Yes.
To get rid of the various various things.
Yes. Substances.
One of the substances tends to be more of a yellowish.
Yes. We've got snow of colors you can't even imagine in New York City. It'll be it'll be fresh. It'll be fresh after this and buried for a period of time. But to your point, some milder temperatures and rain coming. That's our storm specialist, Mike Seidel. Mike, looking forward to the reporting as those conditions, as you said, most certainly worsen in the short term. Thank you. Fox Weather storm specialist Mike Seidel joining us live from Montauk, New York. And Mike, that vantage point, you're still waiting on some of the heavier snow bands, but it was something I believe you pointed out. I'm not sure which nor'easter it was, but I'm just glancing down at the satellite and radar. There's some lightning bolts being detected offshore. We got an area of low pressure that's cranking up big time.
Indeed, that's a sure sign out over the Gulf Stream. And also, I mentioned earlier, the pressure is going to drop at least 24 millibars in 12 hours. So that's twice as fast that it needs to drop to verify as bombogenesis. So that's how fast this thing's going to weaken, rapidly develop tonight, and then pull away as we go through tomorrow afternoon. Now, the high tide of concern, as you mentioned, the potential for some minor to moderate coastal flooding in this area. High tide a little before 1 a.m. and a little after 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Now, the worst of the weather is going to be sometime between those times, so maybe we luck out a little bit. But the bottom line is we're still going to have winds out here gusting to hurricane force. Right now out at the airport, which is wide open, they're getting gusts up to 33 miles an hour. So gradually ramping up. Snowfall intensity is still on the light side here. In fact, the lights behind me of the properties down on the harbor, they're more visible now. They're coming in sharper, so the visibility has actually come up over the past half an hour or so. But that's not going to last very long based on the radar. You can see the bands coming right up from the south and southwest, and they're all going to rotate in here as the storm intensifies dramatically in the next 6 to 12 hours. And as we come back on the air tomorrow morning here at 8 a.m. Eastern, it's going to be a whole different picture, Ian. No reports of any snowfall totals out here on the eastern end of Long Island. The one you mentioned, Coney Island, 2.5 inches. That's the closest report we have so far. But I can look here on the rail and on the benches, and let me see here. Just about 1 inch there, Ian. I'll have to get the official ruler out, but looks like about 1 inch of snow right there with my finger pointing to it. So it is adding up. Another thing you'll see here on the trees, you can pan over here, you can see how the snow is just sticking all over these trees because it is 31, 32 degrees. It's a heavy, wet snow. And when this keeps adding up and then we bring in those wind gusts 60 to 75 miles an hour early Monday morning through midday Monday, that's when we think, and we're almost confident, unfortunately, that we're going to have power outages across this entire area.
Yeah, we got a kick out of that official measurement. That's a spot that folks would love to spend some time, maybe, 4 months from now, Mike, that big chair off to your left. But it feels like this is off to a fast start. I know with the forecast model trends, the overall pace of the storm is slower. It's more intense. The snow totals trended up. But it feels like with what we're seeing even out the window here, we're on our way to some big numbers, as you said, by the time you're up at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait to be out here at 8 o'clock. And in fact, I'm sure I'll be rolling over during the night looking out, like a kid. Didn't you do that, Ian, when you were younger?
Of course.
Look out the window. Look at the street light.
Spoken like a true weather sicko, because all of us are. It's a problem.
And also, we're up here high, and when those winds start gusting over 50 miles an hour, as sturdy as this hotel is, the beautiful, beautiful manor, I know I'm going to hear the wind whistling and things moving around. So that's another thing that I'll wait to hear from. Just like in Hatteras with that blizzard, I guess it was near blizzard conditions last month, the wind just howled and whistled all night. You could just hear it through the entire hotel.
Yeah.
So it'll be a wild night out here, certainly as we get into later this evening and then through overnight. And it's good to see. We're going to be on all night tonight. No other weather network will be doing that. And we're going to have live coverage just about all night, too. I think all night we're going to have live coverage on the East Coast. So if you wake up in the middle of the night and you want to see some wild pictures, just turn on Fox Weather or Fox News. We're going to be simulcasting on Fox News starting at 11 o'clock Eastern tonight. So we got you covered. And it's always free on the app, of course.
Yeah, no question, Mike. 11 to 5 a.m., the simulcast, and then we've got a full day of coverage and beyond tomorrow. As long as this storm's around, so are we. And you said Hatteras. Man, I thought you were going to say that cabin you stayed in on the shores of Lake Superior earlier this week. I'm wondering which sleep is going to be quieter.
Hatteras was louder than Minnesota was.
Okay.
Up there at Two Harbors.
Okay.
So this, I don't know. This is a pretty solid building. I don't know if we're going to hear any whistling, but I'm sure, when you have 70-mile-an-hour winds, I don't care where you are, unless you're in an underground bunker, you're going to hear some kind of roar out the window.
I'm putting this down in my notes to
That's
file.
what we look forward to.
I'm following up on the official Seidel rankings as we move on through the day tomorrow. Mike, we're looking forward to your reporting. Thank you.
Speaking of Montauk, New York, which, by the way, is the east side of Long Island, if you're not familiar with the area, let's go out to Fox Weather's Mike Seidel, who is actually out there in Montauk right now. I've been watching your shot throughout the night, Mike, and, I'm curious, how close are you to this camera that I've been showing here? Because on the camera, it sure looks like the snow is moving sideways, and then I look at your shot, and it doesn't look like it's gotten too bad yet, or is it just an optical illusion?
No, what it is we're behind this huge hotel, the Manor. It's been here about 100 years, and so we're getting a little bit of protection, but I'm looking off to my right, and I can see the horizontal snow. I believe the camera is down there in the harbor. You can still see some of the lights, some of the buildings down there right on the water's edge. So our visibility is still about a mile. Islip, by the way, Ari, just came in top of the hour, 8 Eastern, a quarter-mile S+, heavy snow. Winds gusting to 32, so not quite 35. So we're not going to start the clock on the blizzard there, but we will overnight. Ari, it's going to happen. It's going to happen in many locations in the Northeast and maybe even down towards the Delaware coast. Snowfall totals out here on the island. Babylon now 5 inches of snow. Comac coming in with 4. And then you come closer to us, Upton. That's where the Weather Service measured 4.5 inches. And at Shirley, the airport, which is in Brookhaven, they've had 4 inches. So the totals are adding up. This band is coming in. The Storm Prediction Center, Ari, issued another mezzo about an hour ago for 1 to 2 inch snowfall totals until well after midnight. The snow's only going to get heavier as the storm continues to blow up off the mid-Atlantic coast. Right now, though, it's just a heavy, wet snow. The temperature's 32, and to show you how it's sticking to the trees here, notice it's going to be pretty. That's one thing, one positive, great for photography and some video tomorrow morning when we have all that wind. But you can see the tree moving a little bit there with these gusts upwards of 25 miles an hour. The airport, by the way, has peaked so far at 31 miles an hour. As far as snowfall totals now, we picked up another inch in the past hour. We're at 2 inches already here in Montauk and counting, and we are going to be on through later on this evening, but back here in the morning, more importantly at 8 a.m., and it is going to be a wild scene out here as you keep mentioning how much the winds are going to increase as the storm deepens as it moves up towards this area tonight and Monday morning.
Yeah, totally different than the last storm. A lot of differences here. We were just talking about how the last storm, Mike, it was so hard to make snowballs. We had the powdery snow. We had the brutally Arctic air that came in right out behind it. I would imagine you can make a pretty solid snowball with that stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. Here we go. I mean, look at that.
Oh, it's perfect.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, you could have a
look at
full
that.
snowman
That's
done
a
within
beauty.
10 minutes there. That's fantastic. Yeah, heavy wet.
Yeah,
I totally.
Depending how much, how big I make the balls, how much I roll them. But yeah, this is great packing weather. But again, sticking to the trees and the power lines, and even though there aren't any leaves on these trees, think about the evergreens and the non-deciduous trees that can catch more snow and carry more weight and bring those tree limbs down on the power lines. We're going to have power outages here. None so far yet, but it is going to be quite a wild night and morning tomorrow, and we'll show it to you here on Fox News. But visibility, it's come down a little bit more, but again, still probably about a mile. And also, Ari, we're up here, I believe, about the highest point in Montauk itself, right here in town. We're a good 100 feet or more above the water. So that elevation, wind increases with height. We're going to catch those stronger wind gusts up here tomorrow, later tonight and tomorrow for sure.
Mike, it's been interesting watching the different bands of snow move through the area, right? So I'm kind of curious, what was it like when one of the heavier bands moved through about an hour ago? What would you estimate that the snow rates were? And do you think we're on track with the forecast? Are you seeing any chance of a big bust? Like, I'm just curious your thoughts as a meteorologist as you're out there right now.
Yeah, it's too early to get into the bust potential. I don't want to get into that. That's, usually when the forecast busts, you have a precipitation type issue, a P-type issue. It goes to rain or sleet. And the other way it does is we get a dry slot. And we're not expecting a dry slot with this storm because it's going to stay farther off the coast. So right now, I think we're pretty much on track. I mean, you were talking, didn't you mention 10 inches already somewhere in New York State? We've got 5 inches out here on Long Island, and it's not even, not even 8:30 tonight, and we still got another 12 to 15 hours of solid snow. So I think we're really on track to get 18 inches out here, and I think maybe somebody will get 24, maybe 30 inches. We'll see. It is a heavy, wet snow. It doesn't add up as fast as the snow we had on the previous storm in January, but it is adding up very fast tonight here in Montauk. By the way, about 200 miles almost due east to where you're sitting tonight in Midtown Manhattan.
Well, I got the snow pants ready to go up in the office. I think they're sending me out at about 10 o'clock, so I'll be out there in a little bit to see what it's like.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to experience the wind tunnel between all the buildings in Manhattan. Oh yeah. It'll be a lot of fun.
On television?
Yes, on television. I know that's amazing. It's shocking, isn't it, Mike Seidel?
No. Hey. No, I didn't find it amazing. Hey, we're in color. That's what counts. That's what counts.
Old buddy, Mike Seidel, one of the best in the business. All right, we'll check back in with you in just a little bit. We appreciate it, brother.
Hey, but let's bring you on the ground. Let's bring in Fox Weather's storm specialist, Mike Seidel. He's in Montauk, and this is one vantage point of it where it looks absolutely brutal. It's blowing sideways. Mike, noticing two different locations, Islip and Newark, had snow rates 2 inches plus here recently. It's really starting to enhance where you're at.
It is. We're now up to 3 inches, so we basically have had 2 inches in 2 hours. It's a heavy, wet snow. The temperatures around the area airports, 31 or 32. It really isn't going anywhere tonight. We're not dropping into the mid-20s, so the consistency will stay the same. Our snowfall rate's basically about 9 or 10 to 1. That's 1 inch of liquid to 10 inches of snow. This is what it looks like out here. We've got into more of an open area, and the winds, as you mentioned, at the airport, which is even more open, Steve, have gusted at 33 miles an hour. That's it so far, but boy, they're going to get a lot stronger overnight. We could get gusts right here tomorrow over 70, maybe 74 miles an hour, which is hurricane force. And that, along with this issue, look how this heavy, wet snow is coating this tree. Isn't that a beautiful picture, though? Isn't that gorgeous right there? It's just stunning, and we've only had 3 inches. So all that weight is going to bring limbs down on power lines. Now, granted, the deciduous trees don't have any leaves. There's no canopy here in the latter part of February, but you've got the evergreens, the ferns, the non-deciduous types of trees, and they could snap and take power out with the wind. So far, we're okay, but we're just getting into the early innings of this big blizzard, big storm out here. Biggest of the season so far, we think, is going to be these totals, 18 plus here in Montauk. We're about 200 miles, Steve, east of where you are on the Avenue of Americas at the Fox weather headquarters. So that's how far east we are. The farther east you are with the storm, the better chance you have stronger winds. Not only here, but we're talking about Cape Cod, the South Shore, the south coast of Massachusetts, and also the islands like Nantucket in those areas. Steve?
Yeah, and Mike, I wanted to ask you something because I know you were talking before with Ari. Ari's actually getting his snow gear on to show us what it's going to be like in Manhattan. But I want to ask you, a lot of people have said this could be a generational storm. I think that speaks to kind of the rarity of what you're talking about, the opportunity of getting 1.5 feet in spots not only like Long Island, but all up and down this East Coast.
And also bring in the wind factor, because we had some big storms in 2015. Remember, Boston had over 110 inches, 2010. 96 was the big blizzard in January of 96, but considering the geographical complexity of this storm, how much territory is under a blizzard warning and how much snow is going to fall. So all the states that are going to get a foot or more of snowfall, along with wind gusts over 60 miles an hour, it'll be really interesting to see how many locations actually verify blizzard conditions. You can see right now the wind picking up a little bit more, probably gusting to about 30 miles an hour. A little snow blowing over the surface, but not a lot of snow being picked up because of the intensity. Now I want to show you just how easy it is to make a snowman. This should work pretty well. Once you get the initial snowball started, and then you just roll it. Let's see if this works. I'm not sure. There we go, a little bit. Well, it kind of fell apart, but you get the idea. Whoa, it just collapsed on me. You get the idea of how easy and how packable this snow is in reference to a snowball fighter making snowmen or whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got it stacked up quickly, Mike, and then kind of collapse once you picked it up. But how different that is than what 3 weeks ago was, right? And so it just shows you how each storm has kind of a different type of setup and how it can be, difficult to contend with. But to your point, why power outages is going to be a big thing because the weight of that, what that's going to be like for so many. A great shot, right. Mike. Thank you for giving us that update from Montauk. You and I will continue to talk, of course, and look forward to your coverage as this really takes form in the hour ahead. Mike, thank you for the update. That's where we find our storm specialist, Mike Seidel. He's been over there for the last several hours, and, it's looked like this all of those hours. And so, Mike, I know from your vantage point, I'm looking at you, it's a little tougher to see you because it seems like the flakes are a little bit thicker this hour.
I can't really say that there's much of a difference, but that's my honest opinion. It does look different at home on television. It is a steady snow. We're not snowing heavy. We've gotten a light to almost moderate snowfall. The wind is gradually increasing. Our peak gust so far at the airport, 33 miles an hour. So we're nowhere near where we're going to be in, say, 5 or 6 hours. And you mentioned the gust in Ocean City, Maryland, 50 miles an hour. Now, the center of the storm is off to their south and southeast. And by the way, the pressure has now dropped between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern. It's dropped 18 millibars. From 1,009 to 991, and it's probably lower now, obviously, because we're already a couple of hours later, several hours later from 12Z or 7 p.m. Eastern. So it's bombing out 18 millibars in 12 hours. We only need to do 24 millibars in 24 hours. So we're on the way to a bomb cyclone. That's not the issue here. The issue is the wind, the combination of these wind gusts to hurricane force late tonight and tomorrow, plus the heavy wet snow. Let's show you this tree again because every hour it picks up more snow. We're up to 4.5 inches now here in Montauk where I'm standing. Higher up at the Manor Hotel, so we're above the water by about 100 feet or so. So we're going to get maybe a little bit more gust of wind because we have more elevation. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? This is heavy, wet snow, so the limbs that were up higher are now being pushed down. Eventually, some of them could crack. Let me see what happens when I shake the tree. Yeah, it doesn't come off that easy, but the issue is limbs and trees breaking and falling on the power lines. Now look back there. Right now it's not doing it, but we've been getting some healthier gusts, Steve, and the trees, well, there they go right now. You can see how they're bending over a little bit. But once again, we're not really into the meat of the storm by any means. It's going to be overnight and through about noon tomorrow. The blizzard warning here goes until 6 p.m., but most of the snow will have fallen by early afternoon. And certainly overnight, we're going to see 1 to 2 inches an hour through the morning hours. And by the way, we're going to be back on the air tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, and it will be a whole different picture out here. A lot more snow on the ground, but a lot more blowing snow and those winds clocking in over 60 miles an hour in wind gust. Steve?
Yeah, it's been impressive, Mike. When you and I talked earlier, we talked about those snow rates in two different locations, Islip and Newark. They got up to 2 inches per hour. I was talking with Jay Engel. He's out of the National Weather Service in New York. He was saying at some point we're going to get to 3 to 4 inch snow rates that are coming down. I want to ask you, what's it feel like out there to be in this? Because when we were talking with Katie, it was brutal. She was describing it as almost like glass, feeling like it's hitting your face. What's it feel like for you there?
I would describe it as brutal, with all due respect to Katie. The temperature's 32 degrees. The wind chill's down around 22, 23. It's not snowing particularly hard. You know, I've been in storms for 30 plus years, and I've been in wind chills 50 below zero, and I've had snow hitting me sideways at 50 miles an hour, and it's been much colder. So I'm just trying to put it in perspective in my career. And right now I'm toasty warm. I've got 3 layers plus the jacket, and I've got the hand warmers and the gloves, but I'm pretty comfortable out here. Now, that's not going to be the case tomorrow morning because the winds are going to be blowing and gusting much, much higher. So I would not personally describe this as brutal at this point. Brutal will be tomorrow morning. But again, keep in mind, these temperatures are going to stay pretty much where they are overnight, 30 to 32 degrees. We're not going to be down in the teens or 20s. We're not going to have sub-zero wind chills. In fact, once the storm pulls out, we'll have a chilly day Tuesday, but then by the end of the week, we're going to see temperatures in the New York City metro area and out here up around 40. So unlike the big storm in January, we're not going into the deep freeze with a polar vortex in place. I'm not saying winter's over by any means, Steve, but I'm just saying that this is not the same kind of setup following the storm. We're going to have more melting than we did last time in the next 4 to 5 days than we had last month with that storm by far.
Yeah, no, it's a good perspective because the temperatures, they're comfortable, but when you start looking at that hurricane force gust that you're likely to have come tomorrow morning, that's when you get into the real teeth of the storm. Mike, thank you for that update.
You know, Fox Weather is at this from every single possible angle.
Yeah, we have team coverage. We're tracking all of the impacts. This is real time all throughout the Northeast. Brandy Campbell is in Boston. We have Katie Burns. She is on the Jersey Shore in Long Branch. But we start this hour with Fox Weather Storm Specialist Mike Seidel, who is live in Montauk, New York. That's, of course, their Long Island getting slammed right now at this hour. Good evening, Mike, to you. Thanks for standing out there.
Sure thing, Molly and Britta. We are still adding up the snowfall. We're up to 5 inches here at Montauk. I didn't get the latest odd from Islip, but they're at 7 inches as of an hour ago, and they had 4 inches in 2 hours between 7 and 9 p.m. That's a very, very healthy snowfall rate, and we've got a long way to go. Remember, the blizzard warning goes until 6 p.m. tomorrow out here on Long Island. By the way, power outages are starting to pick up a little bit. Here in Suffolk County, about 1,700 customers, a small percentage of the entire power base, but a sign of things to come as the winds ramp up. Our winds have not gusted more than about 30 to 35 miles an hour so far at Montauk. We've got a long way to go. The storm is still sitting well off to the south and southwest, right off the coast of the Virginia Capes. And so it's going to ramp up overnight, continue to ramp up, and then slide up off towards south and east over what we call the benchmark and continue to intensify. As it does so, the winds will also ramp up. You can see there's not a lot of wind right now. In fact, the snow is lightened up, so we're getting a bit of a break. But a long way to go, as I mentioned. The heaviest snowfall will fall between now and about midday tomorrow. Leftover snow in the afternoon, and then tomorrow night the snow will wind down. The sun will come back out on Tuesday, but temperatures will not get much above freezing, probably right around freezing. And the same goes for the weather tonight, as temperatures will stay right around 30 or 31. So not a very cold storm by winter standards. And following the storm, our temperatures will not go into the deep freeze like last month, where the snow stuck around from one storm for 2 weeks plus. This time we're going to be back above freezing, above 40 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even some rain in the forecast for New York City. Britta?
Mike, we appreciate the update. We'll be with you all throughout this evening. And thank you for standing out there in the cold as we're just getting started. That's Mike Seidel reporting live in Montauk, New York.
Yeah, we have Fox team coverage. We are tracking all of the impacts. This is real time throughout the Northeast. The crews are spread out from New Jersey to New York into Massachusetts. But we begin this hour with Fox Weather's storm specialist, Mike Seidel, who is live in Montauk, New York, where Long Island is just getting absolutely slammed at this hour. Good evening, Mike.
Hey, ladies, good evening and good morning on the East Coast here from Montauk. We're about 200 miles due east of where you're sitting in Midtown Manhattan, and the snowfall totals now hitting double digits. Manorville, also Quogue on Long Island, and East Hampton, not far from here, just off to our west, all at 10 inches of snowfall, and we have a long way to go. You can see it's like a snow globe out here. The snow is coming down light to moderate at times. We haven't had what we call S+ heavy snow. That's when the visibility is a quarter mile or less. And that's what you need for a blizzard. 3 consecutive hours of quarter mile or less visibility, snow or blowing snow. It doesn't actually have to be snowing. It just has to be picked up by the wind, and we're seeing some of that tonight. And you have to have wind gusts 35 miles an hour. We'll see how many locations, how many towns and cities between Delaware and Maine, where we have all those blizzard warnings, 40 million plus people, how many of those actually verify a blizzard. And we'll know certainly more over the next 6 to 8 hours as the winds howl. Up here now, we're gusting around 40 miles an hour. It's slowly ramping up as we started off the day with winds basically running 5 to 10 miles an hour. And we had a bare ground, by the way, at 4:30 this afternoon. Look at this now. We're up over 5.5, almost 6 inches of snow as it continues to come down. Major impacts at the airports. And let me tell you, tomorrow's not going to be any fun. Most of the major airports in the Northeast have canceled 85 to 95+% of their flights. Right now, we have 5,200 flight cancellations tomorrow. But get this, they're ramping up even on Tuesday. Now we're up to almost 1,300 flight cancellations. Now, this is a heavy, wet snow, and you can see how it's blowing around, but when it's heavy and wet, it sticks to the trees. In fact, Montauk now, at the top of the hour at midnight, reporting 33 degrees. So it's edged up just above freezing. Look at this tree. If you've been following us through this evening, the weight of the snow has brought the limbs all the way down to the ground. So as a result, this is the concern that limbs could crack and split, or even trees, parts of trees could come down on power lines. Look behind me, you can see the wind blowing in the distance, and I can now hear the wind with a light roar coming through the woods towards us here on the highest point here in Montauk. We're up here at the Manor Hotel. It's been here since 1927, and we're about 100 feet above the water, and now I cannot really see the lights of the homes down on the lower end of town and out there on the edge of the water. So the visibility continues to come down. Overnight, through about midday tomorrow, winds will continue to come right up to gusts to hurricane force, 74 miles an hour, that we're expecting that. And the power outages are going to ramp up too. Right now, statewide, just 4,000, and those are out here in Nassau and Suffolk counties. But again, power outages ramping up, snow intensity picking up 1 to 2 inches an hour, and we're looking at 18+ inches of snowfall out here on the eastern end of Long Island. Travel next to impossible tomorrow. Tuesday, though, the sun will come out. Temperatures around freezing. But keep in mind now, we're less than a month from the spring equinox, so the sun angle is getting higher, it's more potent, and even with temperatures in the low 30s, we're going to see a fair amount of melting on those sunny sides of the street and on the roadways that have been plowed and scraped, like the Grand Central and the 27 going from here back towards New York City. So improvement on the way, and then at the end of the week, we all get above freezing, even above 40 degrees. So as you mentioned, Britta, earlier, This is not like the January storm where we went right into the deep freeze. Everything just locked up. It was solid ice. The big snow piles in New York City that eventually got annoying. And we'll see the melting a little faster this time. At least that's the plan with this current forecast. And by the way, we're going to be back live here at 8 a.m. Eastern here in Montauk to show you the wild scenes, not only this kind of snowfall, but winds more than double in gust.
And we'll get the ground truth of how much drifting we get with that wind. Mike, I'm a former resident of Suffolk County. The thing I love about Long Island is names like Ronkonkoma and Massapequa. What I don't like is the coastal flooding impact. So we're going through high tide pretty much around now. We got another cycle tomorrow between 11 a.m. and noon. Obviously, you're buffered up at a higher location. But you think about all these towns like Freehold. I mean, there's so many little towns along not only the South Shore, but the Long Island side and the Long Island Sound side as well that really, really do not do well with nor'easters and coastal flooding.
Well, this is true, and keep in mind, once the storm gets a little biased, the winds on the north shore of Long Island Sound will be coming and pushing the water towards the coast. So we still have the high tide right now. I don't think this is a big deal because we just don't have the wind yet. But the one tomorrow around 1 o'clock, as the storm pulls away, I think that may be more of a concern. But we're looking at minor, for the most part, minor coastal flooding, some spots moderate. This is not going to be the kind of storm we deal with like with a tropical storm or hurricane or a nor'easter, which slows down and just pushes the water in. And we're also getting the strongest winds between the two high tides, at least here in Montauk. So that's a promising note. I think the major impact will be certainly for people that don't want to see the power out. It's the power outages and the restrictions on travel tomorrow. Tuesday, things will open up quite a bit. I don't know about schools on Tuesday, but certainly the roads will be much better Tuesday. Certainly by midday and afternoon with a full day of sun, the higher sun angle, and temperatures getting to or a little bit above freezing. Anything that's not in the shade, like I said, salted and scraped, will melt off and dry off, so that's a good thing. But we're going to be digging out tomorrow, certainly tomorrow afternoon after the snow begins to wind down. Quite a scene tonight, though.
Yeah.
It's beautiful out here. I got the whole place to myself. The hotel, which was packed last night and sold out, is pretty much emptied out now that we're past the weekend. And also, the fact of the matter is we've got the storm coming in.
Yeah,
or
people probably
has arrived, I should say.
They got out of there as quickly as they could, and hopefully they're back somewhere hunkered down where they'd like to be for the duration of the storm. Mike, I want to ask you, like you said, a beautiful snow globe type of setting. We're watching that snow kind of creep up your legs. I'm sure in a few hours we'll see it even higher. But you really narrowed in on the big concern about those power outages. You said 4,000 for now. Could you imagine that will be growing? And then when do you see the wind dying down to a point that those linemen that come in from across the country can get out there and get to work and get the lights back on?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think the winds are going to start dying down tomorrow afternoon, and it'll be a whole different world by Tuesday morning. A lot of these power outages in this kind of situation generally come back on pretty quickly. We're not talking a hurricane. We're not talking a tornado where we have big swaths of trees coming down over a lot of power lines. This is going to be more of a hit and miss situation. Not to say there's not going to be thousands without power. We already have that. But generally in these kind of situations, they can get the power back on quicker versus an aftermath of a hurricane, as we've seen, where some people lose power for a couple of weeks, or the ice storm back in January in northern Mississippi and Nashville. Some of those areas didn't have power for more than 10 days.
Wow. Well, you know, I think you raise a great point there, and I'm certainly hoping for more misses than hits in this situation. Mike Seidel, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll be coming back to you, grateful for your storm coverage as it continues.